publisher Square Enix released its quarterly earnings report, and, well, it's not that good for news. It's not good news for the Crystal Dynamics developed Marvel's Avengers. Yeah, I know, womp. The publisher reported a 6.5 billion yen, which is close to $62.9 million loss. I did the math. Over the quarter, largely driven by Marvel's Avengers and its failure to meet sales expectations.
Wow.
The question is, what happened to cause Marvel's Avengers' relative failure? Because it's Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, you would think after, Avengers is the highest grossing movie of all time that it would be able to still have an effect and people like this property enough. We even covered it on the show.
We did.
That should have at least been a couple million.
Well, obviously, Matt Mr. X's enthusiasm wasn't enough to
He
sell.
wasn't enthusiastic enough.
His beard wasn't big enough.
This game. I have always found this game to be in a little bit of an odd position.
Yeah.
In that I feel like when I saw the initial trailer for this game, I felt like I was looking at the stunt doubles for the actors in the MCU
Thank you. There was that
films.
meme that was going around, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I think they went just a little too adjacent to the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. I think if they had come out the gate going, hey, we're making this cool comic book game, and also there's this great story mode with Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, as the hero, that I would have really gotten interested in the game, but instead they were trying to, I think, hinge on the popularity of the MCU, which is fine, but it almost feels like they needed to really get Marvel on board with those likenesses or something. It just, I look at this game and it didn't really inspire me to want to get in there.
And the single player was just one aspect of this game. What they really wanted it to be was like a lived-in experience, which just kind of didn't take off. And now they've delayed the DLC. And I just feel like there's a lot of broken, nothing broken. It didn't roll out the way they wanted it to roll out with this game. And it just never had the buzz around it. And I think what you said about the characters is a huge part of it. And for whatever reason, the Avengers are who we think of on film. Whereas Spider-Man, maybe because there's been so many Spider-Men at this point, Spider-Mans.
I think that's exactly right.
Point,
there are so many Spider-Men at this point that it's easy to take a single character like Spider-Man and go, okay, we're gonna tell a Spider-Man story, it's all gonna be set in New York, et cetera, et cetera. With this, again, it's like, is this a story game? Is this a living, breathing online multiplayer co-op experience? I think it just wasn't very clearly defined.
Yeah, and none of the Avengers in the movies have had a successor. Whereas Miles Morales was heralded as a massive move and shift in the Spider-Man universe, and why so many people are excited for Spider-Man, as well as being, a main character in a movie that just came out as well, Into the Spider-Verse. So, I mean, we look up here and we see budget version of Loki, and we see things behind us, and it just doesn't seem. It seems like there is an interesting divide. Can you get the actual actors to separate from the roles here? Because I don't think I'm ever gonna look at Steve Rogers the same and not see Chris Evans.
Well, it's been a decade of Chris Evans as it. I mean, he really just is that character. I feel like you just have to sunset Steve Rogers and move on to
new things.
Yeah, it's almost like if with this game, instead of having it be about the Avengers that we know, if it had been, Falcon but Captain America, and just move on to the next generation of people sort of taking up these mantles, or include, I don't know, other characters like Squirrel Girl or something. I think that, again, it's just, this was, and physically, as far as appearance goes, they went too adjacent to what these characters look like.
Which is even stranger because the main character of the game is Kamala Khan, who we have not seen yet.
Not according to this key art behind you. It's clearly Captain America.
Oh, no, there she is. Okay, sorry.